think, frankly, I think when people get to know people who have disabilities, it becomes really hard to argue that their lives somehow are not going to be as brilliant or meaningful or with purpose or passion. And so, because it becomes personal. So I honestly, I don't know if my daughter can hear me or not. So, but when she was born, I was already involved in the pro-life movement, but everything changed because it was at least my motivation, and I guess the main reason is because if it became so clear to me, it was hard for it to not be. It was a very spiritual level thing, even though all the arguments for against abortion are not spiritually related. This one really was. If it's true that each one of us is loved by God, sent into this world for a purpose that only each one of us can do. Only we can do the thing that we're called to do, and it's so true. If you know anybody with special needs, which it sounds like you do, it's so obvious with them. It's as if they have a superior ability to change other people. Their purpose is so clear, and of course, I got to say that I'm not going to speak for God, but if I was going to choose a movement, this is the one I'd choose because He talks about it all through Scripture. He talks about our infirmities are what help us help us. Our infirmities are the things that help us with stamina and endurance and perfecting ourselves. That the lowest is the highest, that only in knowing the least, and that if you really want to serve me, then you serve the least of these, the most vulnerable. I mean, all throughout, the last shall be first. The one put last in society is the unborn. There's no one more discriminated against than this group of people. They're considered last, and He says they're first. So I think back to your actual question, that knowing people with special needs is an inherent pro-life argument. And it doesn't take a lot to make a connection, between knowing them and should this be justified, a justifiable reason to abort. The only difference, the only piece that still has to convey is that this is the baby that is not quite yet born is the moral equivalent of a person standing right in front of you. And are you going to tell me that this person has no purpose?